Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Josh, this is McKinley, and welcome to Fin Spex. So this week, the two fins that I tried are the AM2 honeycomb and the Jordy large, which is also a honeycomb fin. Honeycomb core, which is fiberglass around the outside, and then, it's got that foam honeycomb core in there. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, so these fins pretty much flex almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only real variable is the template itself.
Yeah.
In this one. And looking at these fins side by side, they are very similar. Like, trying to pick out the differences is pretty minor. It looks like the AM has a tiny bit more base.
Jordys have a little tiny bit more rake. I mean, they're practically the same fin. We'll just have to see in the footage how they work out together, you know?
So I'm 5'10", I'm 170 pounds. The board I rode, a custom from Maurice, a model we've been working on. It's called the Glock. And it's kind of like a good everyday shortboard for around here. It's like 5'8", a little bit shorter than like my normal shortboards, a little wider. And it's got like kind of a flat deck beak nose kind of thing going on. So it's kind of like a good groveler, which definitely with how the waves were, it did its job. The fins I normally ride, the first fin I put in any board I ride that's a thruster is the AM2 Tech Flex, just because I feel like it complements my surfing and the waves I like to surf, and I can get a good idea of a board by riding those fins. And then if I want a kind of a different feel, if I feel like it's going to help the board out a little bit, I'll try the Wade Goodall fin from Captain Fin. It's a little bit smaller than the AM, but it's all fiberglass, so it's a little bit stiffer, so it kind of makes up for like its smaller size in that way. So we'll go over the footage of the AM2 honeycomb first, then we'll go into the Jordys, and then afterwards we'll kind of go into deeper analysis of the fins and see what's really at play.
Let's do it.
Sweet. All right. 3, 2, 1. So this was my first wave of the morning.
Pretty small.
Yeah, it wasn't like big lowers or anything. It was like kind of the first day of the swell.
Looks pretty fun still.
Yeah, it was still lined up and good for sure. I think it got bigger through the morning.
There's a little set right here. Looks fun.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. That one, the fins blew out like super good, and that's not something I normally.
Yeah, that was a good bottom turn. Setting up for it.
Thanks. Yeah, but after a couple waves, I kind of started to get the feel for the board and the feel for the waves and fins and everything, and started to like really try to like push it around.
No, yeah.
The crowd wasn't too bad this day.
No, it doesn't look too bad.
That one I kind of struggled. Like the rail didn't like bury right away. Because I was still kind of figuring out the board. I hadn't ridden it before.
Still looks good though. Look at that.
It's a sick
setting
board.
up. Look at that.
Yeah.
See the fins right when you're setting up for that bottom turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rail definitely, like, that toe side rail definitely buries, like going for a bottom turn.
Whoa. Watch out, dude.
Almost had an air. Saw that guy coming. Had to kind of slam the brakes.
That was sick, dude.
Yeah, those fins felt really, really good. They felt sick. Like, definitely for that board, too.
Oh, yeah.
They
front side and back side. I mean, dude, when you did that on that right, just setting up on that bottom turn, I could see your fins just setting up for it and just releasing. It's so nice.
Yeah, that, like, blowing the fins out backside, that felt super good. So as far as the flex of them, they're the same template as the fin I normally ride, the AM2 Tech Flex, but the honeycomb, it flexes way differently. Like, it's a noticeable difference for sure. And I think that's what those kind of couple like turns where I was kind of like not pushing so hard or kind of bogging was just because I wasn't used to the way these fins flex. It's a little bit different than what I normally ride.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't ride honeycomb fins that often. There's a couple boards where I really like the way they feel, and I'll put this fin in, but definitely not like one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so those felt super good. I was able to do a couple good turns going right and left. We'll see how the Jordys stack up against the AMs. All right, so we're going to go over the Jordy footage now.
Here we go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. So I think, yeah, I went right on my first wave on these.
Setting up. Oh,
Oof. That felt good.
that looked really nice.
It's always funny, like doing a turn and you're like, that felt pretty good, but I have no idea how it looked. And then seeing it back.
And then looking
like,
back at it, you're like, oh,
yeah.
wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, Mark, again.
He wasn't getting that one. But yeah, the Jordys look.
Oh, how did that one feel?
Felt pretty good. I kind of like, I don't know, didn't know whether to do like a snap or like kind of a layback, so it felt kind of weird. But these fins felt really good. They felt like super, like they had tons of hold, like tons of hold. So I felt like confident to like push pretty hard. On a wave this size, you can't push that hard.
small,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but on the bigger ones for sure.
Man, we got some friends.
There were so many dolphins around in the lineup. It was rad.
That's when you know you're protected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. Splitting waves with
Going
people.
right, look at that right. It's a little bigger one. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I could push a little harder.
That's
Like really try to lay into it. Yeah, and this is when I started kind of figuring the board out too, what it wanted to do.
boom. Yeah, you look way more comfortable on it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a combination of the two. The fins felt really good, and then also, you know, it was a brand new board, so I'm trying to get a feel for the board. And yeah, I think riding these fins second definitely was the right move.
Yeah, you definitely look a bit more comfortable on the board, but plus your surfing just looks a little bit better than the AMs did.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. These fins definitely felt like they felt super, super good. I was pretty stoked on them.
Yeah, dude, your surfing looked really good with the Jordys and the AMs.
The first turn, I think, was the highlight. That just like felt so seamless.
Oh, yeah.
Like coming off the bottom and like.
But that
cracking
right
on it.
you did, all that hold, dude, how you really pushed through it. I mean, that was freaking sick.
Thanks, bro.
Especially for how small it was. I mean,
yeah.
that's always a
Small
hard factor.
lowers, yeah, small lowers is tricky for sure.
Yeah, plus you got the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for this day in particular, I think the Jordys felt better for a number of reasons. I think this board just likes a real raked fin in particular, and I think they both worked good, but because there's a little more rake in the Jordys, they felt that little tiny bit better. So this template, very, very similar to the AM2, pretty much based off the AM2. It's got a wide base, thin tip, so that thin tip is good for release, loose in the pocket.
Yeah.
And then the base gives a lot of drive. Both these fins kind of have that characteristic. And then with the AM2s, same thing, a lot of base, not as thin a tip as the Jordy. The tip is a little more full on the AM than the Jordy. The Jordy has a little bit more rake if you look at the template side by side.
Yep.
But it has that little bit thinner tip. So the little bit more rake in the Jordy gave me a little more hold and gave me the confidence to like really push into
Still
turns.
push and release your fins.
Yeah. I can't say they rode super differently because they're very, very similar.
Yeah.
So the Jordy also has a smaller center fin, but it's not quite as small as the AM. Something that's cool about that I like is it kind of balances out a really raked out template. So it kind of like loosens up a template that's a little bit stiffer, a little more drawn out turns. It loosens it up a little bit and lets you really turn in the pocket better. So that's cool that both those fins have that, and it shows in their characteristics for sure.
Especially in those tight pocket turns that you did.
No. They're both that honeycomb core, which makes it a little more flexible than like an all fiberglass fin or a Tech Flex fin. So I kind of like a honeycomb fin in this size surf, like kind of smaller surf, you know, because you're not pushing as hard. Those fins, like the really stiff fins, are good for like speed control, whereas like a little more flexy fin is good for speed generating, which is
around here is what you want.
Yeah, exactly. A day this size, you're not really controlling speed. You're generating it.
Yeah.
Day-to-day condition.
Yep.
Like you can ride it when it's 0 foot and like up to like chest head high if you feel comfortable with it. It's a real reliable flex. Stays the same all throughout. I think you'd enjoy these templates, both of them, if you're trying to work on turns on the face.
Cutbacks, like just trying to push really hard, but at the same time having that loose feeling when you try to release your fins. Not really going to the airs, just straight power turns.
It's kind of long. You have space to do turns and stuff. Drawn out like longer turns, point break style, kind of like higher rocker boards. They have like a lot of flip in the tail, so you need a fin with a lot of rake to like kind of give you that hold when the tail's all flipped up like that. Good place to start if you're looking for fins to help you do kind of like big cutbacks.
Yeah.
So categorizing these from loosest to stiffest, these are kind of like middle ground fins. Even though it's a really raked fin, that smaller back fin and the honeycomb construction really loosens.
100%.
Like really, really loosens the fin out. So I would say the order is Tokoro, Hayden Shapes, Pivots, Timmy Patterson, AM2 Honeycomb, the Jordy Honeycomb Large, a little bit stiffer just because of that extra rake, Mayhem, John, Pizel, Sharp Eye, the Vapor Cores, which are super stiff, and then the Connor Coffin being the stiffest.
If you want to try any of the fins that we have just talked about, we have a $5 fin demo. We get 5 fins over a span of 5 weeks. You can try one fin out each week, come back the next week, try another fin out.
And then at the end, if you want to buy a set of fins, the $5 from the fin demo goes towards the set of fins you want to buy. And if you don't live nearby, you can go on our website and do our 30-day buy, try, and decide program. You can buy a set of fins, try them for 30 days. If you don't like them, as long as they're not totally destroyed, you can return them for a full refund. It's a sweet program because you get to try fins before you shell out a bunch of money and buy them. I know a lot of people that before this, would buy a set of fins and go, I don't like these. And then they just sit in their garage for 10 years.
Yeah.
You see that all the time. So give it a go. If you live nearby, come in the shop. How many boards do we have in here right now?
Dude, we have like over 800 probably.
It's got to be over 800 right now. There's way too many. The new and used boards. We got traction pads. We got leashes. We got fins, fin keys, wax.
Used fins.
Sunscreen. T-shirts. Sweatshirts. We got
hats.
board racks.
Yep.
Hats.
We have bike racks for boards.
Surf helmet. Yeah, if you're scared of all the people at churches and lowers.
Or Doheny.
You can buy a sweet helmet and protect yourself.
We got wax remover.
Okay.
Dude, we got fin screws. We got it all here.
We got stickers.
See, that's why UsedSurf is so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it all, dude. All right. I'm Josh.
I'm McKinley.
Thanks for watching another episode of Fin Spex. Let us know in the comments what fins you want us to try in the next episode. Come down to UsedSurf. We'll see you next time.
Shoots.
Later.
The tide to run,